Hello and welcome to another Mailwrite workshop. I'm Adam Brown, co-founder, and I'm here with the one and only.
Jonathan Denwood.
Yes. And today we have an awesome show for you because we are going to talk about how to take your real estate website to the next level in 2024. And how we're going to do that is we're going to go over about 7 different ways, tips, tools, and things that you can use to basically implement into what you're doing or what you need to be doing. And so we know this is going to help you out a lot. These are the best WordPress DIY builders. And so, are you ready to get into this, Jonathan?
Yeah, but I think first of all, I just want to do a quick intro to this, folks.
Yeah,
Um, if you're looking to build your own website, that's not part of your brokerage, and I think you should do that. But you're
100%.
not, if you're not in the position to have a full IDX website or invest a ton of money initially, I think you can get started if you feel up to it by utilizing WordPress and just getting a simple but good looking website up with your own branding, with your own contact details. And then you've got a platform where you could work with MailRite, um, use the MailRite system, or use somebody else. But you're under control of it. You've got the maximum control of it. And to have the maximum control over your brand, over your name, and on over your website, the best way to go in 2024 is WordPress. But like I say, start with a simple website, but a good looking website, and then look at solutions like MailRite and where you're looking at IDX integration and investing more time and money.
Yeah, and if you're not sure where you need to start, you can also just let us know. We
Yeah.
can do a demo, we can answer questions. So you can check out mail-right.com and hit the chat or contact us that way as well. And we'd love to kind of walk you through it and help you know what your options are out there, in addition to what the MailRite program offers as well. So all right, so we want to enhance the user experience. We want to boost engagement. We want to help generate leads. So these are some of the Gutenberg-based page builders. And the first one we'll start with is Cadence WP. You want to share about that one?
Yeah, but first of all, what what is Gutenberg? Well, about 6 years
Yeah,
ago, Gutenberg was a new way of building WordPress websites. It's now the part of the core part of WordPress, and it now basically gives you a drag and drop interface where you can build elements that are called blocks, and you can just it's the WordPress equivalent to some extent to something like Squarespace or Wix,
yeah,
where you've got this drag and drop functionality. And there are in the WordPress area, there are Gutenberg solutions, but then there are some non-Gutenberg solutions, and they do the same job. Where it comes with Cadence WP, it's the technology we utilize at MailRite is Cadence. We've got a main theme that is based on the Cadence framework, which is based on Gutenberg, but they've
mhm,
added more functionality to the basic Gutenberg, a lot more blocks, and a really big library of um, starter websites, basically. They call them starter themes, but they're websites. And you've got drag and drop functionality. We've got our own theme, but it's based on Cadence,
yeah,
and we can quickly customize that for our customers. But you can go to Cadence, get your hosting, upload, buy it. They've got a free product which comes with a set of themes, but the pro version for one site starts at I think around $79 per year. So it's not that expensive, folks.
Yeah.
And basically you can upload it, select a starter theme, and you can get up and running pretty quick. And for this basic website I'm talking about, you can get it up and running if you've got any kind of computer skill. I'm not going to say you're going to be able to do it straight away, but it's not going to be impossible or ridiculously difficult for you to get a reasonably looking site up.
Yeah. And that seems like it might be one of the main tools, especially because it's one that we implement into the Word, into our MailRite
Yeah,
space as well. So
it's running about seven. It's running about 700 to 800,000 websites at the present moment are using Cadence WB. Adam,
wow. Yeah. And I love the drag and drop features so people don't need to know coding and things like that unless you want to really customize it, which is possible. That's what's so great about WordPress. So, all right. Anything else with Cadence WP?
it's just a great team behind it. They really know what they're doing. They've added, if you get the pro version, the paid version, they've got a load of add-ons about landing pages pop up, but we supply that a more optimized environment at Mail-Right, but it's
Yeah.
still a great platform, Adam.
Yeah. Okay, great. Second one is Spectra, which looks like it has a couple different pricing plans and toolkits with those plans. So tell us about Spectra.
Very similar to Cadence. I prefer Cadence and we prefer it at Mail-Right, but it's still a great platform. It's part of a team that had a kind of Elementor, which is one of the ones that's non-Gutenberg. They started off in that world, and it's from a company called Astra. They built this Gutenberg solution, Spectre, and it's really fantastic. Um, Slightly different to Cadence, not enormously different. It's just that they provide a slightly different building environment a little bit. Um, and it's a great tool, but like I say, not for great reasons, but for reasons that are there. I just prefer Cadence to Spectre, but you could choose either and you'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And then it looks like the Spectra Pros 49 for a yearly. If you want to step it up to Essential Toolkit, it's 79 a year. And the Business Toolkit is 149 a year. So it's pretty good pricing as
Yeah.
well with what you get. But yeah, like you said, we implement the cadence
Well, the
into
Cadence,
our
when you buy
ones.
the Pro, they have a lot more stuff that they give you.
Okay, good to know. Yeah. Okay, third one is Generate Blocks. Tell
Mm.
us about Generate Blocks.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's on the list, but I wouldn't recommend it for a DIY individual. It's really a great product if you're a kind of somebody like Adam, or you're running a WordPress agency. You've got a graphical background. You're in video
Ooh.
or anything like that, and you've got a bit of experience. You're still going to be fine with it, but they don't provide, it's really powerful. It's still drag and drop, but they provide some starter themes, but nothing like the previous two. It's really about somebody building their own look, doing a full custom build out and having that graphical eye. But the code it produces is some of the best. It's
Mm.
very, very lean code. And why should you care? Well, it's one of the main things that Google kind of judges a website on is speed. Obviously, there's a lot of factors around your site loading quickly, about the quality of the hosting, the mixture of plugins, other plugins that you're utilizing with your WordPress website. There's a lot of, so it's not solely based on the framework, the theme that you're using, but it does produce really lean code, and you still have very similar functionality to the previous two. They add their own block library as well, and it's a well thought out and respected platform. but I think you've got to be more technical than the first two to really
Hmm.
utilize this tool.
Yeah. Okay. And then how about Max blocks?
Well, Max Blocks, um, it's the opposite of Generate Blocks, really, because they've gone a different. They provided the free product and also the paid version. They provided an enormous library of starter websites. They've got a few that have been designed specifically for real estate. All these, apart from Generate Blocks, provide some starter themes that are kind of focused around real estate.
Yeah.
Um, but I can't remember if they do maxi blocks, but they have got an enormous library and they're really good looking themes on the free and on the paid version. And they've got a lot of experience in building themes in WordPress on something called Divi, which we're going to talk about.
Hmm.
So it's very different. So hopefully, um,
Different pro levels too with the Max blocks, it looks like.
yeah, I think I think it's simpler. It's like the Cadence and Spectra. It's reasonably easy to use. The first two are much bigger. They got, like I say, I think Cadence runs about 700 plus websites. I think Spectra's at 500,000. I would imagine that they're only running about 10, 20, 30,000 websites, but it is from an experienced team, and
Yeah.
I don't think they're going anywhere. So it's worth a
Yeah,
look at, but they're not
definitely.
established as the first two we talked about.
And then just for the audience, when you're talking about themes, that's I guess pretty similar to what they'd find in Wix or Squarespace that are templates. Is that correct?
Yeah, the template skins,
Yep,
templates.
yep,
Yeah, you're right.
yep.
Very similar concept to what you find in Squarespace or Wix. Yeah.
Okay. And then how about some non-Gutenberg page builders? Like I see Elementor, which I know we used to use
Yeah.
on
I
our
still
sites,
do.
right?
We can still build on it. We just
Yeah.
it's not our preferred builder. It's still a great product. They're running about 12 to 14 million websites worldwide
Wow. Wow.
um, on the free, but it's all paid now. Um, you've got it's really powerful. Has a lot of options. There's a lot of third party. Spectre with their Astra are still big in Elementor. Um, there's a load of themes out there, free or paid. Um, it's very powerful. Is drag and drop. So what's the problem with it? Well, you need it produces a lot of unnecessary code, which can make the site slower.
Hmm.
Um, and obviously, with good hosting, like you get with MailRite or with some of the other better hosting providers, that overcomes that problem to some extreme, to some extent. And they lately have revamped their their framework so it utilizes more modern web development technology. So that makes it load quicker. But they have had some problems with updating as well, where their updates have taken a number of websites down. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts, but it's a great product. Don't get me wrong, and it's running a hell of a lot of websites.
Yeah,
So
that's a lot.
if you do go that route, you're not. It's still totally okay to run a website on Elementor, but you are going to need good hosting, folks. Around the $25 to $35 mark a month to run it with decent hosting, and then you're probably going to have a decent experience.
Well, you've said a couple times, and it's made me think also because I was reading about coding and how that can impact SEO. But maybe we do a little deeper dive in one of our shows about SEO and just loading speed and coding and how things like that can impact it, because I don't think most people are aware of that. And maybe most might think it's just,
Yeah,
using
just do.
keywords and the look of it,
We might
right?
do that. We might do that next week then. But the
Yeah.
main thing you've got to keep in your mind, folks, is that most people that are going to be coming to your website are going to view it on a mobile device
Yeah.
on their phone. They're not going to view it on a desktop. And one of the main problems with Elementor, and they're still struggling with it, wasn't how it works on the desktop. It's how it works
Mobile.
on the mobile, and they were having problems in getting really good speed mobile scores when in a normal working environment where you got other plugins, blah blah blah. That's where they were struggling, folks.
Yeah. Well, we have a couple more left, but before we get to those, plus there's a bonus one with some themes we'll share about. We just wanted to thank you for joining us. We would love if you could give our video a thumbs up, smash that subscribe bell so you get all of our free workshops. And yeah, thanks for interacting, commenting, and sharing this with others. So thanks again. And let's jump back into this. So sixth is Divi. Tell us about Divi.
Divi um, came on the scene before Elementor.
Oh,
Um, it was the first kind of drag and drop kind of environment. Um, the people that use it love it, and the people behind it have built a really fabulous business. I think it's running between 700 and 800,000 websites. It's been around for about 10 years. They publicly announced about a year and a half ago that they were going to go Gutenberg, but they were going to build their own framework like Cadence and Spectre. Um, but it hasn't gone public yet. There's
mm,
been delays, so you're still dealing with the classic. I think of the non-Gutenberg, I wouldn't recommend it because, like Elementor, it's got a reputation of being quite heavy, needing quite really very good hosting. But I think, but there's some other things. The people that are used to it, I think they love it. But I
mm-hmm.
think now it's not as modern in its environment than some of the other people solutions that we've talked about. And but on the hosting, I think if you can, you always if you want to get a really good experience with WordPress, you've got to be realistic how much you're paying for your hosting. To get any really good hosting, I think you are going to be looking between $25 and $35. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of hosting that's well below that, but I think in a real world, you're going to struggle, and it's not going to be a great experience. But Divi, don't get me wrong, loads of people are happy with Divi. It's a great team. I just don't think it's as competitive now in 2024 than what it
Mm.
was a couple of years ago, folks.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. So check it out, but it sounds like there's better alternatives. So, all right. How about last but not least, because we do have a little theme bonus for you after this one, but how about bricks?
Rix came on the scene about a year and a half ago.
Newbie.
It's become the love child of the professional freelancer agency who don't like Gutenberg, don't like the interface, and don't like other aspects of Gutenberg. Um, and they were using Elementor, a lot of these people, but they were having problems with speed, with the mobile, with the updates that were taking their client websites down. And people were getting frustrated with Elementor, and then Bricks came on the scene. And it's it's a bit like Generate Blocks. I wouldn't recommend it for the DIY person because it is drag and drop, and you can switch off a lot of the professional functionality, so it's more easier for the non-professional users. I think you
Hmm.
could get your head around it rapidly. And the beauty of it, it does produce some of the cleanest code possible that's not Gutenberg based.
Yeah.
Um, some of the code that Gutenberg can produce on some frameworks isn't fantastic. I found with Cadence, it's pretty clean. There's some technical criticism of some of it produces, but that criticism is more around around accessibility, which I'm not going to go into, but it doesn't affect speed actually. Um, but Bricks has really become there's a strong element that wasn't prepared to go to Gutenberg, didn't had lost faith to some degree with Elementor, and they found a home with Bricks, and it is a great product from a very experienced team, and they have increasingly getting traction. It doesn't run anything like the websites like Divi or Elementor or Cadence or Spectre. It probably runs 10, 20,000 websites, but it's
Okay.
been grown and they've been very aggressive with their lifetime deals,
Yeah.
which professionals like. Unlimited website lifetime deal.
That is pretty
Uh,
good. For
um,
249 for unlimited.
yeah. Um, and they do a lifetime, which they've increased to 5.99, I think. But that's still a fantastic deal. Um, but it's not for the DIY person, in my opinion.
Yeah, a little more complicated and harder to get used to, it
Yeah.
sounds like. Okay, how about the last one, which is not necessarily part of those, but theme forest.
Yeah, I thought I had to talk about it because it's not a builder, folks. It's a marketplace where you can buy third-party themes, plugins, images, all sorts of stuff. And on that marketplace, there's a load of themes designed for the real estate industry. And some of these themes are really very complicated and they're
Hmm.
designed to work with specific IDX providers like IDX Broker, iHome. There's about 3 to 4 IDX providers that IDX is all your real estate association provide a feed. They take that feed, and that feed should meet up to the IDX specification, and then it can be adapted to work with different types of websites and outcomes like maps and
Hmm.
things. Well, some of these themes, some of them, the coding quality can be really poor or quite good. You really got to understand something about the theme. We might talk about these themes and theme forests in next week's show, or we will talk about this either next week or the week after. Um, we're either going to do a show about SEO next week, or we might do that the week after and do a show about theme forest, because there's about half a dozen themes that are very popular in the real estate industry. As a DIY person, if you've got a little bit of tech, you like mucking around with websites, and you'll probably be able to cope with it. Um, and they offer good value, but you've got to understand what you're getting involved in. That's what I would say, Adam.
Yeah, okay. Anything else just to wrap it up?
No, I think I just it's like it's a changing world. That is technology, folks. I think
Yes.
Gutenberg does provide the performance, especially with mobile. Gutenberg, obviously, you can make Gutenberg as slow as treacle if you have bad hosting and you have a load of plugins and you do stuff in a bad way, and you have really crappy hosting, you can make a Gutenberg website really slow, especially
Yeah.
on mobile. But if you don't go crazy with the plugins and you have good quality hosting, Gutenberg has been shown to be about 30% quicker on mobile than Elementor. And it's one of the major things that Google measures your website when it comes to SEO. It's one of the key factors. speed of loading, especially around mobile, Adam. And
Yeah.
that's why it's important, folks.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, did you say tree core, as slow as tree
Treacle,
core?
treacle.
What is that?
What? Oh, you put it on your pudding, your dessert, treacle.
Okay.
It's a syrup.
Interesting.
It's a syrup. Oh, sorry, it's a bit of
Is it
English.
is it like molasses? Because like I've heard
Yeah,
the
I think it
phrase
must be a bit.
as
I
slow as
don't know if
molasses.
molasses and treacle are the same. I think they are
Yeah,
actually.
okay. I'm gonna
Right.
look that one up. I
Yeah.
always learn something new with Jonathan that's not even SEO website related. So that's good.
But it's a well-known phrase. It's as slow as treacle in the UK. It's a saying that most English people
I love
know,
it.
but I forget. Right.
I like using them with my friends because they'll be like, "What did you just say?" All right, well, that wraps up 7 of the best WordPress DIY builders for your real estate website in 2024. We want to help you increase your business, and it's a crazy market out there. We're seeing some increases, some areas aren't, and we want you to be able to maximize what you're doing. So we hope these tools have been helpful. We hope it will allow you to showcase your properties better and with ease. And again, give us a thumbs up, comment. If you're using any of these, let us know what you like or don't like about them, even ideas on next shows. And yeah, thanks for watching and for smashing that subscription bell. Talk to you soon.